Hey everyone, today we're diving into a really fascinating piece of writing that talks about something literally all of us deal with: clothes, style, and the totally hidden costs of constantly chasing the newest fashion trends. Whether you're trying to figure out what to wear to school, checking out what your friends have on, or scrolling past influencers online, fashion is just everywhere, right? But is there a hidden trap behind all those flashy outfits? And more importantly, is there a secret way to escape it? Well, we're going to break down the core message of a classic devotional text to find out exactly that.
Have you ever felt, just completely exhausted trying to keep up with what's cool? Think about it. Maybe you finally saved up your allowance for the absolute coolest pair of sneakers, but literally by the time you wore them to school, everyone was already talking about a totally different brand. Or maybe you felt like you just couldn't wear the same jacket twice because suddenly it was out of style. It takes so much mental energy to constantly worry about what you're wearing. It kind of feels like a game where the rules keep changing just as you're starting to win. And the source material we're looking at today views this constant pursuit of fashion as exactly that, a totally unwinnable, exhausting game.
Section 1, the fashion trap. The text points out this crazy, exhausting cycle. Okay, so in month 1, you buy the absolute newest, coolest style. You feel great. But then month 2 rolls around, and the popular style suddenly changes completely out of nowhere. By month 3, you're forced to either totally change your clothes or buy new ones all over again just to remain fashionable. The text points out that no sooner is one style introduced than new ones are devised. So if you're on this treadmill, you're constantly running, but you are never actually getting anywhere. It's a literal trap designed to keep you spending your time and your money endlessly. Now, you might be wondering, why does the fashion world work like this? Why does it change so fast?
Section 2, the mastermind of distraction.
Okay, let's dive into a really striking claim from the text. The author writes, Satan stands in the background, devising the fashions. He knows that time and money will not be used for higher, holier objects. So the devotional argues here that a spiritual adversary intentionally designs these ever-changing fashions with a very fixed, deliberate purpose. It's not just some accident that styles change so incredibly quickly. The text claims this adversary knows that if you're completely obsessed with shopping and keeping up with trends, you're basically draining your precious resources, your time, and your money that you could be using for much better, more important things. And that leads to a condition the text calls having a divided heart. When you try to focus on doing good things, but you are also totally stressed out about keeping up with the latest fashion trends, your energy just gets split. Imagine trying to play 2 different video games on 2 different screens at the exact same time. You wouldn't play very well at either of them, right? The text observes that professing Christians end up with these divided hearts, wasting precious time and giving nearly all their energies to the world of fashion instead of to their faith and actually helping others. But don't worry, because there is an escape route from this unwinnable game. Section 3, the secret to simplicity. The devotional calls this escape route Christian simplicity. It's the secret way to just step right off that exhausting treadmill. Now, this clears up a massive misconception. Sometimes when people hear the word simplicity, they think it means you have to wear, ugly, uncomfortable clothes that fall apart. But the text specifically says that literally nothing is gained by just buying cheap fabrics that look messy. The true goal is plain, neat, and simple clothing. The source emphasizes having correct taste in dress. You can look clean, put together, and nice. The secret is choosing neat clothing without the extravagance or flashy outward display. You absolutely don't need a giant logo on your shirt to look good.
So the crucial point is that when young people break away from what the text calls slavery to fashion, they actually become true ornaments in society. But how? Well, because of something called moral worth. Moral worth means being characterized by true inner goodness and character, rather than just outward decoration. Think of it kind of like your character stats in a video game. Fashion is just the customized skin your character wears, but moral worth, that's your actual strength, your kindness, your intelligence. The text tells us that a truly great person is defined by that inner goodness, not their outward decorations. Section 4, blooming like a flower. To really make this point clear, the author uses this beautiful contrast. It compares the loud, chaotic world of the fashion trap to the quiet, peaceful world of nature. The text says, "How charming, how interesting is simplicity in dress, which in its comeliness can be compared with the flowers of the field." Think about a wildflower growing out in a meadow. It isn't trying to show off, right? It doesn't need flashing lights or super expensive brand names to be beautiful. It just is. The author is saying that when you choose simplicity, when you wear neat, plain clothes and let your inner goodness shine, you have that exact same kind of peaceful, natural beauty.
It is a stunning contrast to the loud, stressful fashion treadmill.
Section 5. A better way to spend. Let's look at life as a game where you only have a set amount of resources, like 24 hours in a day or a specific amount of money in your piggy bank or your allowance. How should we best spend it? Chasing trends acts as a massive drain. Almost everything you have in energy, time, and money gets completely drained away just trying to look cool. And that leaves a tiny little sliver, barely anything at all really, for what the text calls higher, holier objects. You just don't have the energy left to do the things that actually matter.
But conversely, practicing simplicity completely flips the script. By choosing plain, neat clothing, you use up only a tiny fraction of your resources. The massive remaining part of your life is now freed up. Your time, your money, and your mental energy are built back up, totally ready to be used for helping others, for your spiritual growth, and for making a real, actual difference in the world. You are finally free from the trap.
And the devotional doesn't just leave us guessing about what to do with all those saved resources, it actually gives us exact, practical steps. Step 1, dedicate those precious hours to pray and study the scriptures to grow your inner goodness. Step 2, visit the afflicted. Spend time with people who are sick, lonely, or just going through a really hard time. And step 3, use your saved money to feed the hungry and clothe the naked. This is the ultimate goal here. When you aren't spending all your money making yourself look fancy, you literally have the power to put basic clothes on someone who truly has nothing.
The text makes it very, very clear this is a big responsibility. It tells us that on every single person rests the solemn duty of regulating and contracting personal expenses. That basically means taking control of your own spending. It means looking at a really expensive pair of trendy shoes and deciding, you know what? No, I'm going to buy the neat, simple shoes instead, so I have money left over to help someone who actually needs it. It's all about being a master of your resources rather than a slave to whatever the newest trend is.
So as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a big question to think about in your own everyday choices. What kind of ornament do you want to be? Do you want to be one that's just temporarily decorated with trendy clothes that are going to be totally out of style by next month? Or do you want to be one that shines brightly with real lasting inner goodness? By choosing plain, neat clothing over the pure exhaustion of fashion, you unlock the time and energy to be truly amazing on the inside. Thank you so much for exploring this fascinating text with me today. Keep asking great questions, keep focusing on what really matters, and I will see you next time.